There is a sentence, just 3 words long, that some of the most successful people on this earth whisper to themselves before their feet even touch the floor in the morning. And I want you to know before we go any further that the poorest people I have ever met were not poor because they lacked opportunity. They were poor because of the words they spoke to themselves before the sun came up. Now stay with me on this one, because by the end of this you are going to understand why 3 words spoken with conviction every single morning can change the entire direction of a life. But before I go further, do me a favor. Down in the comments, tell me where you're watching this from. I love seeing the cities, the countries, the little towns nobody's ever heard of. Let's see how far this message travels today. Now let's talk about mornings, because how you speak to yourself in the morning is how you end up living the rest of your day, and how you live your days is how you end up living your life. It really is that simple, and it really is that important. Most people, when they wake up, they don't say anything intentional to themselves at all. They just reach for the phone. They scroll before they even pray, before they even think, before they even decide who they're going to be that day. And friends, let me tell you something I've learned over many years of studying success and studying failure side by side. The day you stop being intentional with your first thoughts is the day you hand the steering wheel of your life over to circumstance. And circumstance is a terrible driver. I want you to think about the word affirmation for a moment. Some people hear that word and they roll their eyes because it sounds soft. It sounds like something you'd read on a poster with a sunset on it. But let me correct that thinking right now. An affirmation is not soft. An affirmation is a command you give to your own nervous system. It is you, the conscious mind, giving instructions to the subconscious mind about what kind of day this is going to be. And here's the tragedy. If you don't give your subconscious mind clear instructions, it will take instructions from yesterday's failures, from last year's disappointments, from that voice that has been running on autopilot since you were a child. You've got to interrupt that pattern. And the way you interrupt it is with words, spoken words, not just thought words spoken, out loud, so your own ears can hear your own voice declaring something new. Now, why 3 words specifically? Why not 10? Why not a whole paragraph? Because simplicity sticks and complexity fades. I have watched people write out these long, beautiful morning declarations, a full page of them, and by day 4 they've stopped doing it because it became a chore instead of a habit. But 3 words? 3 words you can remember in your sleep. 3 words become part of you the way your own name is part of you. 3 words are short enough to say with your eyes closed at 5 in the morning before your brain is even fully woken up, and they are powerful enough to set the tone for the next 16 hours of your life. Let me give you an example of what I mean, and then I'll show you how to build your own. Some people say, I am ready. Just those 3 words. I am ready. Not I hope I'm ready. Not I might be ready. I am ready. Said with the chin up, shoulders back, chest out, like a person who has already decided the outcome before the day has even had a chance to argue with them. Other people say, I choose growth. Because growth is not something that happens to you by accident. Growth is a decision made fresh every single morning, and if you don't choose it deliberately, comfort will choose stagnation for you, and it won't even ask your permission. Other people say this is enough. Because so many of us are running around chasing more, without ever pausing to declare that who we are right now, in this moment, before we've achieved another single thing today, is already enough. That declaration alone can heal something in a person that 10 years of striving never touched. Now here is where I want to slow down, because this next part is the part most people skip over, and it's the most important part of the entire message. The words you choose have to be true to where you are in your life right now, not where somebody else is, not where some guru online is, not some borrowed slogan you saw on a screen. Your 3 words have to come from an honest look at your own life. Ask yourself this question this morning. What is the one lie I keep telling myself that keeps me small? And then flip it. If the lie is, I'm too far behind, then your 3 words might be, I start now. If the lie is, I'm not good enough, then your 3 words might be, I am worthy. If the lie is, it's too late, then your 3 words might be, today I begin. You see, the words aren't magic on their own. The magic happens when the words directly confront the lie that's been running your life without your permission. I remember learning many years ago that success is not something you pursue. Success is something you attract by becoming an attractive person. And you don't become attractive by accident. You become attractive by discipline. And one of the simplest disciplines in the entire world, one that costs no money and takes no equipment and requires no gym membership, is the discipline of your own morning words. Think about that. Here's a tool available to the millionaire and the janitor, to the CEO and the student, to the person in the mansion and the person in the one-room apartment, the exact same tool, free of charge, available the moment you open your eyes. And yet so few people use it. Why? Because it doesn't look impressive. It doesn't feel like doing something. But let me tell you, some of the most life-changing habits in the world don't look impressive from the outside. Nobody's applauding you while you stand in front of the mirror saying 3 words to yourself. Nobody's filming it for the highlight reel. But 6 months later, when your whole life has shifted, people will look at you and say, "What happened to you? You're different." And you'll know exactly what happened. It was 3 words, every single morning, said like you meant them. Let's talk for a moment about the difference between hoping and declaring, because this is where a lot of people get it wrong. Hoping is passive. Hoping says, "I hope today goes well." Declaring is active. Declaring says, "Today goes well because I decide it does." Now, I'm not talking about ignoring reality. Bad things happen, hard days come, storms roll in, whether you invited them or not. I'm talking about deciding in advance who you're going to be inside that storm. Because here's a truth that took me years to fully understand. You cannot always control what shows up at your door, but you can absolutely control who answers it. And the person who answers the door of your day is shaped in large part by the words you spoke to yourself before that door ever knocked. Now let's talk about repetition. Because repetition is the mother of skill, and it is also the mother of belief. The first time you say your 3 words, you might not believe them at all. You might feel like a fraud standing there saying, "I am ready," when everything in your gut says you're not ready at all. That's normal. That's expected. Don't quit on day 1 just because it feels awkward. Here's what happens. Day 1, you say it and you don't believe it. Day 7, you say it and you're not sure. Day 21, something starts to shift, because 21 days is often where a new neural pathway starts to take hold. Day 60, you say it and it feels like truth, because you've been acting in alignment with those words for 2 months straight, and your actions have started providing evidence for your declaration. Day 90, you're not the same person who started this. The words became belief, and the belief became identity. And identity, my friends, is the thing that drives every decision you make for the rest of your life. I want you to understand something about identity, because this is really the heart of the whole message. People don't change their lives because they suddenly get more willpower. Willpower is unreliable. It's strong in the morning and weak by evening, strong on Monday and gone by Friday. People change their lives when they change their identity. And identity is built brick by brick, word by word, morning by morning. If you tell yourself for 90 straight mornings, "I am disciplined," you will start making different choices at lunch, different choices at night, different choices when nobody's watching, because your brain will work over time to keep your actions consistent with your stated identity. This is one of the most powerful forces in human psychology. We are all driven, whether we realize it or not, by an intense desire to remain consistent with who we believe ourselves to be. So if you believe yourself to be someone who quits, you'll find a way to quit. And if you believe yourself to be someone who follows through, you'll find a way to follow through, even when it's hard, even when it's inconvenient, even when nobody would blame you for stopping. Let me tell you something about the people who never do this practice. The ones who let their mornings run on autopilot. They wake up, and before they've said a single intentional word, the world has already spoken to them. The notifications have spoken. The bills have spoken. The argument from yesterday has spoken. The mirror, if they're not careful, has spoken the harshest words of all. And by the time they actually get out of bed, they've already absorbed a dozen messages about who they are and what kind of day this is going to be, and not one of those messages came from them. That is a dangerous way to live, because you are letting everyone and everything else write the first page of your day except you. And whoever writes the first page usually sets the tone for every page that follows. So here's what I want you to do. Starting tomorrow morning, and honestly, if you can manage it, starting this very moment, sit with yourself for 5 minutes. Get honest. Ask what story you've been telling yourself that isn't serving you. Then build your 3 words as the direct answer to that story. Write them down. Put them somewhere you'll see them. The mirror, the fridge, the lock screen of your phone. And then tomorrow morning, before the phone, before the noise, before the world gets its say, you look yourself in the eye and you say those 3 words out loud with your chest, like you mean it, even on the days you don't quite believe it yet. Especially on the days you don't quite believe it yet, because those are the days you need it the most. I've said for years that the same wind blows on us all, the wind of change, the wind of opportunity, the wind of difficulty. What makes the difference in a person's life is not the wind, it's the set of the sail. And your morning words, those 3 words you choose to speak over your own life, they are the set of your sail. 2 people can wake up in the same city, facing the same economy, the same weather, the same difficult circumstances, and one of them will have a completely different day than the other, simply because of how they set their sail before they ever left the harbor. Now let me leave you with this. Words have always shaped worlds. Go back through history and you will find that every movement, every revolution, every great turning point in human progress was preceded by words spoken with conviction by someone who refused to accept the current story. And you don't need a stage, and you don't need an audience, and you don't need anyone's permission to start your own revolution. You need a mirror, 5 minutes, and 3 words that tell the truth about who you're becoming. So choose them carefully, speak them daily. Say them until you believe them, and then keep saying them until the world believes them too. Because a life well lived is not an accident. It is built one honest morning, one true sentence, one disciplined declaration at a time. And it can start with you. Tomorrow morning, 3 words, spoken like you mean it. If this message found you at the right time, let me know down in the comments what your 3 words are going to be starting tomorrow. And don't forget to tell everyone where in the world you're watching this from. Let's see just how far 3 simple words can travel.